A few examples may help to make this clear. My master Changchup Dorje was without limits and independent of schools. As well as receiving transmission from his principal master, Nyagla Padmadudul, he received certain Dzogchen teachings and transmissions from a Bonpo Dzogchen master. In the Bonpo traditions, there had existed a teaching of Dzogchen right from the dawn of Tibetan history. Though this tradition was not as fully developed as that introduced by Garab Dorje. The Nyingmapa, or ancient ones, are the oldest of the four schools of Tibetan Buddhism and absorbed the Dzogchen teachings at a very early date, still continuing to transmit them to the present day. So thoroughly has Dzogchen become identified with the Nyingmapa, however, that many have mistakenly assumed that Dzogchen belongs only to that school. Very many great exponents of Dzogchen have indeed manifested throughout the history of the Nyingmapa, such as in relatively recent times Longchen Rabjam, 1303 to 1363, and Jigme Lingpa, 1729 to 1798, who were among the greatest scholars, historians, and spiritual teachers of Tibet. But another great Dzogchen practitioner was the head of the Karma Kagyu school. This was Rangjung Dorje, 1284 to 1339, the third Karmapa, who integrated the Mahamudra teachings transmitted in his school with the Ati Yoga tradition of Dzogchen transmitted by the Nyingmapa, and the transmission of the teachings thus integrated continues to the present day in the Kagyu school. The Shakyapa school evolved in the same period as the Kagyu, following other lines of transmission received from the Indian Mahasiddhi tradition. The great Turton Jamyang Khyentse Wangpo and my own uncle Khyentse Choki Wangchuk, who was an abbot of that school, were outstanding examples of the Dzogchen practitioners among the Shakyapa. The most recently founded school, the Gelugpa, evolved as a reform movement which saw itself as returning from what was regarded as the excesses of Tantrism and a re-emphasis of the importance of the Sutra teachings and to the strict application of the Vinaya, or rules of monastic conduct laid down by the Buddha. It is often therefore assumed that Dzogchen must be very far from the Gelugpa ideal. Nevertheless, there have been many Dzogchen masters in that school, including Losang Gyatso, the great fifth Dalai Lama, 1617 to 82. He was the first Dalai Lama to hold the position of temporal ruler of Tibet, as well as the spiritual role of his predecessors. It was he who began the building of the Patala Palace in its present form. He was a very great practitioner of Dzogchen, so it should in general be remembered that masters with principal allegiance to the one school, whilst fully maintaining that commitment, nevertheless freely received transmissions from other traditions, and this, in fact, brought about a great cross-fertilization in Tibetan spiritual life and culture.